Hey, this is George.
Hey, this is Fred.
This is Real Talk with George and Frazier. What's going on, brother? How are you?
Not much, man. Everything good, man. Good day, man. Good day.
Yeah, I can definitely dig it. We got another good show today. We have the co-founder of Roses Without Thorns, Mrs. Veronique Perry, will be here with us shortly.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
definitely interested in hearing about her uh, foundation and what they do, and the name itself, Roses Without Thorns. Man, it was
Draw
definitely,
attention.
yeah, no doubt about it, no doubt about it.
Hey, we love
Anyway,
charities. Yeah. No, we very good with charity. We love charities.
absolutely. So anyway, man, let's get to it. While she gets set up and ready, man. What's good with you?
Not much, man. I'm watching sports, man. You know, I'm in a Super Bowl weekend, man. I'm getting my predictions in already. You know, they got a young goat, old goat. So I'm trying to figure which goat I want to go with.
Yeah, I understand, but he's not a goat yet. Back to back is fine, but I even think Brady won back to back already too, right? When he was in
Not
New
age, though. We talking about age differential.
Okay, okay. So I'm talking about overall accomplishments.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
That's what
The
I'm
overall
talking
comfort, yeah, he definitely go. I can't take nothing from him, man. He won more titles than some people won NBA titles, so he can brag a little bit. He can brag a little bit.
about. We'll definitely see, but I'm not even there yet, man. Look, I just got done snow in the driveway for the last time. Hopefully, all the snow is finished. I'm done with that. Tomorrow's only Wednesday, so I got to deal with Wednesday. I'll think about Super Bowl on Saturday.
Saturday.
Yeah, you got some background noise in there.
Oh, hold on. What? These are the background. This one. Sorry about
All right,
that.
here
It's
we
suicide.
go.
Sound effects. Sorry, sound effects.
You want to handle that before we bring her on, or what? What you wanna do?
Yeah, hold on 1 second.
I'll wait.
Okay, hold on. You back.
Oh, too funny. Anyway, I can't wait for Frage. Frage is coming back.
Hi,
Veronique, welcome to the show. How you doing?
thank you for having me.
Oh man, please, our pleasure. Frazier had to step out to deal with an angry child. So
That's okay. So my son may run around, my 5-year-old son. So I just want to apologize in advance, okay? Because he's hyper right now.
that's quite all right. Frazier back. All
I
right,
just
all
went
right,
down a
all
little
right.
bit.
Nice, nice, nice. So we definitely appreciate you being on the show. Tell the listeners and the fan a little bit about your background and Roses Without Thorns.
Yes. Roses Without Thorns, it was basically birth from my own postpartum depression when I had my son. It's basically to help out teenage girls that's dealing with mental illness from the ages 13 to 18. It's a nonprofit organization that I started back in 2019. And I'm just happy to be here. So I thank you, Fraser, for reaching out to me. And I can't wait to answer any of your questions, guys.
Yes.
Um, I have a lot of questions.
You do. We have a lot.
I do.
Guys.
I do. And the reason why I do is because we love foundations. We love people that give back. In this life, sometimes we can get caught up and we can be so selfish in our own things that we
Mhm.
forget that our experiences and knowledge that we have can be beneficial to somebody else. And you said the age group was 13 to 18. Am I correct?
Correct. Ages 13 to 18.
Now, 13 seems a little young. Can you hear me?
Yes, but at that time, they're hitting puberty. They're going through hormones. They're trying to figure out who they are. They're going through identity crisis. It's like, they left elementary school when they had like one teacher, and now they're, heading to middle school when they have like probably like 8 teachers and, 8 classes. So it's like, that's why I wanted to be able to help, because I know I have 2 older daughters, and when they went through middle school, that's when they was like going through like, mommy, who am I? Who is this? What do I do? Like, it was just overwhelming for them from going from elementary school to middle school. So that's why I want to start at the age 13 to 18.
I wasn't judging. I was just asking. No, I mean, I'm glad you broke it down because
Yeah.
that statement that I made could have been taken that way. And that's exactly what I didn't want.
Oh, okay.
Um, what other support systems can you put in place? Because kids are growing up a lot faster.
Yes.
internet and everything of that nature. I mean, 13 in our years, they probably be like 16 or 17 when it
Yep.
comes to knowledge base, and I'm only 46. You know,
Mhm.
so 13 years old is light years away from the things that they've been able to see online. What kind of support systems can you put in place for kids making those transitions?
Right now, the support that I have is like a big sister type of system where I'm just basically being their big sister, supporting them, providing like, encouragement, motivation, and just while they're going through that transition. And then I do connect with like other like therapists if they need like, more in-depth, assistance, then I'll
Yeah.
basically refer them to reach out to someone that is licensed as a therapist. They'll be able to walk them through that as well.
And, within that age group, 13, 14, 15, even up to 18, what are some of the things that you're seeing and hearing? I have a daughter. She's only 9, so I'm just trying to prepare myself now because
It's a lot. It's a lot. You hear many different stories. The number one is identity, self-identity, trying to figure out who they are, trying to figure out how they fit in. Peer pressure, they see that a lot with social media, and especially with school now with, drugs, sex. So it's just a lot of stuff that they're being exposed to that our age group, weren't exposed to probably like, after high school. Now with social media, they're being exposed to it as, earlier than 9 years old. So if you have a 9-year-old, I probably would suggest you have your wife or the mother or you talk to her, because they're being exposed to so many things that it's just a lot.
Right. Go ahead, Fraser. I've been
So-
talking a lot.
Let me ask you. So I know it's the age, but different, very different kind of niche. I saw some of the different phases. And I
Mhm.
think to me, I think 13 maybe, but I think 14 more important to me because I've seen how they change because they get boyfriends at the age. They
Yes.
start reacting to different, going to go to parties more.
Mhm.
Like, how do you help them develop a good mindset to overcome that peer pressure?
You have to build self-confidence. That's the number one thing. You have to make sure that you continue to have that open communication with your child. Also make sure that they're being surrounded around putting them in proper environment, like to make sure that they're getting not only you, because sometimes they're afraid to talk to the parents. So they may be more comfortable talking to another adult. So you just have to make sure you have them surrounded around other people that they're able to open up as well.
Okay. So I got one for you. It's like for the fathers who actually raise daughters by themselves, who have the issue,
Mhm.
can't explain certain issues that a woman can explain. Like, how you help somebody who's a single father who raising a girl by himself and can't really explain it like a woman can on certain aspect of levels of a teenage girl.
Yep.
A lot of times, fathers, they really don't understand because, you guys are different than females. So they really don't understand. So it's best that they try to, just take a step back and try to listen more before actually, making a judgment. If not, I will definitely reach out to aunties, cousins, or, grandma, or, someone, a female figure that will be able to, guide that child as well. Just get a support system to be able to help them with that child.
Okay.
The same thing like with boys, I have a son, and I'm a single mother. So I try to put him into sports or put him around positive male role models. So therefore, because I don't know how to be a man. So I try to, get him that positive, influence. So therefore they'll be able to guide him and talk to him about how to be a man.
True. That is true though. Now I'm gonna say about raising with a single mother as a young man, as a single mother, you do look for role models a lot.
Yeah.
And my role model, which I was blessed with, because my role models used to be like people that had Colin Powell. I looked up to, like Martin King, looked up to Malcolm X. A lot of info I looked at it, and I did a lot of research and reading. And that helped me develop my personality wise. Like some young boys, some young ladies don't have that mentorship anymore. They don't have those iconic role models like we had. We were growing up. So how do you help them find like role models who they actually look up to? Like, do you influence them, give them some, or even have them look up to you?
Well, Fraser, can I answer that question for her?
Sure.
Because you're rambling. And the easy answer to that, Fraser, is yourself, your family members, people. Because my father was a workaholic. So my father was only really home late at nights and on the weekends when I saw him. So just imagine elementary school, and well, actually elementary school, when you had to be in bed at 8 o'clock, but your dad didn't come home till 11 o'clock. And then he would leave early in the morning. So maybe you would get a car ride to school and you would get some kind of talking to or whatever. And then that was it. And then you just saw him on the weekends. So big brothers came and scooped me up and got me out of the street and, spoke to me and were like, hey, we know who your father is, who your mother is. You are a little bit better than that, where we see you going, and that type of support, especially with girls. And the reason why I'm saying this because my bishop told me, he said that men really influence the way a young girl coaches to a woman, because what she needs to hear is she's loved, she's important, she's validated by her family. That's why you hear a lot of stories about a lot of women getting caught up in a lot of things because they were looking for that love that their dad never gave them. The dad instills the confidence. You're my baby. You can go do this. You can do that. Now, the opposite thing happens with the mother, child, because I have a son. He's 13. And this is exactly what happened. I'm not trying to take over the interview. I'm just trying to pass some knowledge on Mrs. Veronique.
Yes, a lot of them just really need attention. That's what they need. They need that attention. They need that affection, and they just need someone to basically understand them. So that's what a lot of the especially with the girls, like now, as you can see, they do certain things just for attention. So a lot of times they just want that attention. If they're not getting that attention from that father or from that mother, is like that abandonment issue. They sometimes seek it, through negative ways, like drugs or other things and stuff like that. So a lot of times they just need someone to show them that they're being heard. So, or that they're being seen.
And that's why, also too, just if it's not paid attention to, and I saw this on an episode, that's how a lot of girls get caught into sex trade and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
They have that person that gives them all that attention, but they say, okay, baby, do this for me. You know what I mean? And they're doing it not to lose that attention. So
Correct.
These ages where they're very, very, very vulnerable are very important. Now, your support system for your, are you in the community? Is it nationwide, like a support system that you have? I know you mentioned child psychologists and things of that nature. How are they pouring into your organization to help bolster you up?
It's in the community. Right now I'm in the community, helping out, family, friends. I'm networking with other nonprofit organizations where we go feed the homeless. I have another nonprofit organization that I help out with that deals with domestic violence. There's also other nonprofit organization that deals with mental health as well. So it's we work in the community, and we just network with other nonprofit organization.
So you have two nonprofits?
No, I have one.
Oh, okay.
I network with other nonprofit organization. I help out with other nonprofit organization as well.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, man, you got
Not yet. God is, in the future, if God is willing.
Man, look, but he also said the flesh is weak. How can you do all of that? That's
exactly.
I love it. So it's just a passion for me. I love it. Like, if, coming from my background, I was a troubled teen. I'm not going to lie. I was a troubled teen, and I didn't have my father. My father passed away when I was young. So I used to get into fights all the time. I used to do a lot of bad things. So it's like, it took someone to actually sit with me and, guide me and mold me to the person that I am right now. And it's like, I want to be able to reach back and help other kids as well, to be able to help guide them, because it's so many kids that just need someone just to help them. And I just want to be that person. I just love, changing people's lives. I love helping people. I love hearing that, thank you. Like, I just love doing that. So it's just in my heart. So I don't.
Nice.
That's beautiful.
I got a question for you. I know in recent years, been growing up is teenage domestic violence. That's one thing now going really rapid now among teens in the 13 and the 18 bracket, where young ladies are getting in abusive relationships. And how your program help those women actually get the mindset to leave that situation without having to fall into that he loves me, he beat me because he loved me theory, which it happens a lot. I network with another nonprofit organization. She deals with domestic violence. So if anyone that is going through any time
any type of domestic violence, I will highly suggest them to reach out to Silent Cries. Her name is Tony. She's the owner of that nonprofit organization, and she'll be able to guide them and provide them with the resources as well as housing information to get them out of that situation.
Nice.
Wow. That's rough. And the reason why
Yeah.
it's rough is because that's one of the reasons why I don't chastise my daughter, because I don't want her to get used to a man beating her, not beating her, but chastising her or disciplining her. You know,
Mhm.
I have a rule in my house. My wife disciplines my daughter. I discipline my son. You see what I mean? So that way, you know, we know where the lines are, and
Mhm.
you know, because everything that my son is going to do, I've already done already. He even has my own temperament. You know what I mean? But like Fraser said, what my daughter's going through, I literally can't help her. Like I just be like, baby, I love you, but I just do not know what to do. So, mom, please. You know what I mean? And
Is it because she's your daughter and that's your daddy's little girl and you just don't want to hurt her feelings, or
Yeah, you know how it go.
yeah, there is. That's
You know?
absolutely true. There's been times she'd be like, you better discipline that girl. And I just be like, don't do it again. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I give you.
Whereas my son, boy, I'll take the brakes off that boy, because I'm just like, man, look, you don't understand.
Yep.
I'm trying to teach you to be a man, and that little slick stuff I see you doing, I used to do that. So there's nothing really that you can do that I don't know that you're doing. Even that look on your face, I already know what it is before I come over. You
Yeah.
see what I'm saying? But my daughter, she just give me them little look, and I just be like, ooh, go see your mom.
The same thing with my son. He'll do something and he'll just come in like, give me a hug, like, mommy, I love you. I'm so sorry. And I'm like, still go to timeout. Like, he's like, he'll just give me, and I'm like, okay. And I'm like, you can hug me just a little bit, but this is the reason why you're going to timeout. And he'll be like,
Right.
okay, mommy.
Right. Right.
I know. Yeah, I'll tell you. Like, you got a little baby girl. So it's like this. So I'm like, I had all boys. So like the girl says, he's the way boy. Cause I go, what's your boy? And we go, girl, you be like, that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, hug. It's somebody that hugs that melts your heart. You can't get mad at him anymore. You get a hug, you like, just go talk to your mama. Your mama son.
Yeah, that's true. That's absolutely true. You know?
That's
I'd be lying to you if I didn't tell you my daughter. My daughter broke up the day she was born. Okay, the little facade that y'all see, that's just for my son. My daughter, she broke me. Like I can't do nothing with it. My wife has to literally save me.
Exactly.
You know?
So let me ask you some advice. What advice do you give guys who have girls who want to discipline girls? Like, what advice can you give them without losing our manhood? Like,
to discipline girls.
yeah, how we do it? Like, so nicely do it, because I don't know how to do it. I ain't like it.
You definitely, it's the same way if you discipline your son. It's just that you probably have to be a lot more gentle with the girl versus the son, because you want to make sure that you show her that guys are gentle and they give them that little cariness or whatever. But it's probably the same type of way. Just you have to discipline them. And just the same way, whatever you think is best.
Nice. So back to your organization. Besides disciplining.
Yeah, that hard, yeah.
What does your clientele look like? Every month. I mean, because as we go through a lot of different transitions now, we have COVID, we have lockdown, and what we're seeing with this COVID lockdown are a lot of kids are going through depression. A lot of kids are committing suicide because we never knew that physical interaction. We knew that it was a necessity, but we didn't know that it was that important during early child development. So now we're seeing it. Are you seeing an increased case in child depression or anxiety or anything else because of COVID? And if you are, how are you speaking to that, treating that, and supporting that?
Well, as of right now, due to COVID, everything has been on pause. I am working with actually a alternative school to try to see if I can get that back up and running. But everything has been on pause. So in the meantime, I have been delivering PPE items to high school, delivering stuff to nursing homes, and just working with other nonprofit organizations. But as of right now, a lot of the public schools, a lot of the they're doing outsources to other like well-known organizations that they already have contract with. So right now, my organization is on pause with those schools.
Okay. All right.
Nice. So let me ask you, you have a way to talk to women? I know another also thing I noticed that kids now going through, piggyback what George said, but suicide, you do call it depression,
Mhm.
and a lot of it's proven that more women have more depression than men. For some reason, I don't know why that. That's different. Men take depression a lot different than women do, and
Mhm.
due to social media.
Come on, lift him up now. Let's see what we're working with. He wants your attention. Come on. He's right there on the leg. Let's say hello. Hey, young
Yeah,
man.
Oh,
that's big
he, he took my phone. He's
Okay.
gone.
Okay. Okay.
That's what he does. He come and get my phone and leave and go watch YouTube.
Okay.
That's the only way I could get him to go.
personal portable babysitter. That was called a babysitter.
No doubt.
Oh man. But back to what I was saying though, that how do you deal with like, young kids who go into that stage where especially young women, depression, and how do you deal with them, get their mindset different by you being a woman yourself and the things you've been through? Now, how do you that influence to help them out?
Wait, hold on. Before you answer, can I add on to Fraser's question?
I'm sorry?
Before you answer, can I add on to Fraser's question?
Sure.
How do you stop them before they get there?
From going through depression or actually
Yeah.
overcoming depression? Hold on.
Like if depression was number 10, let's say I'm number 7. How do you stop them from getting there before they go off the deep end? Are there particular signs that you can see, or is it just we're here one day at 1 and then boom, we're at 10?
Well, it depends on the individual because everyone depression it varies. Someone may have depression consistent like every day, and someone may have depression one like they may have a say they woke up, they're happy, they're having a great day, and they log on to social media, and then that's that may change their energy and they end up having depression. It really depends on the person and depends on the level of depression that they're at. So you basically would have to talk to them to see what's going on with them, to see what would be best for them. Is either they just need some type of motivation, or if they need something more in depth like a professional help, or they may need someone to diagnose them to see if they need medication. So it really depends on that individual. As of right now, I am the first aid, so I just basically try to talk to them and try to provide support, try to provide motivation. I did get certified for that, so I'm able to talk to them can barely talk, but as far as diagnosing them, as far as providing medication, that will to be a totally different person that's licensed.
Right. I know that you said you're on pause right now, but are people still reaching out to you?
Yes, people are still reaching out to me. People will call me. People will inbox me. Even if I take a break from social media, like if I'm not posting, or because I usually post motivational posts all the time, if I'm not posting like every 3 days or every 2 days, someone will reach out to me like, can you please keep posting? Because it helps me have a good day. And I'm like, okay. So it's like when I take a break, I feel bad sometimes when I take a break from social media, they'll reach out to me like, hey, your post actually boosts up my day. Can you continue to keep posting? Because it motivates me. It helps me out. If I'm having a bad day, I just actually log onto your page and it changes my whole attitude. So yes, people usually reach out to me just to get that little boost for their day.
Nice. That's nice. We need a lot of that, especially after 2020. We need a lot of that.
Yes. Because it's used a lot of time and I try to unfollow all the negative stuff on social media. So a lot of times people like to see positive things and see, especially people they know that they grew up with doing positive things. So it's like, okay, I know you, like, I know how you were when you were a child. I know how you were, 10 years ago. So now seeing you doing this is like, I can do it too. It gives them that little, motivation. Like I can do it. I can change too. I can have a better life too. So it gives them that little boost.
Nice.
Do you feel pressure a lot of times?
No.
In your position that you are? I mean, I like the answer, but a lot of times when we put ourselves out there, we also put ourselves out there for haters, negative energy, people that want to see you fail just to, I don't know, for whatever reason. And so, like you said, sometimes you just unplug from social media. And I mean, do you ever just wake up one day and just throw your phone at the wall and be like, I'm done? Or
no. If you were to talk to me 2 years ago or probably 3 years ago, yes. But end up getting counseling. I have mentors, I have coaches, I have life coaches that I talk to. So I have a support system. So anytime that I do feel like I'm overwhelmed, I have prayer line every Wednesday morning at 6 a.m. And then I have prayer line at 6:45 at Wednesday night. And then sometimes on Saturdays. So I do have people that I can just vent to or talk to. It's more, I don't know if you ever heard of, it's more like I get more pressure based off of my looks more than anything else, because I don't know if you ever heard of that pretty girl drama. So I get that more than anything. Like, oh, you're pretty. This is the reason why you're getting this. But it's just, I get that more than what I'm doing. So that basically gets sometimes pushed underneath the rug. But I don't feel pressure at all. But if you were to talk to me 2 years ago, yes, I used to be that person. Like, what is going on? Like, I'm doing good. Like, what's wrong with these people? Like, why they hating on me so much? But now I'm just like, it's whatever. It was like, I'm still gonna do me.
To follow up on that, that's my first time hearing that pretty girl drama.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yes. Man, George. Beauty comes great power, great responsibility, man.
Okay. I mean, I just
look it up, George. Look it up.
Yeah, absolutely. You know,
yeah, hey, not George. We go through it too, George. No, good looking men go through the drama too. We just do it differently.
It's probably the beard. You probably get that beard drama.
Oh yeah, they hit my beard. How you gonna go so much?
You know,
for COVID.
You know, it's in now. Like having a beard is in now. So it's like
a couple years ago, I had this. I would pick that. Hey, we got a beard for bro. You all right? You old? You pro? Need a handout? You need a couple dollars for you? Go get eat. You know? I mean, it's weird how things changes. It's weird. Oh, but let me tell you, so all the negativity on that, right? Do you ever help the other young girls go through the exact same negativity who have to go through the pretty girl drama? How you help them out?
Especially if they're dressing in expensive clothes, or if they're always getting their hair done. You can see it's all over social media. Like they get more drama, like, or you're being grown, or you're this, you're that. Yeah. It's just they get judged a lot because of the way they dress, or what the name brand that they're wearing, or the way that they wear their hair. So they get the same type of, probably not, if not worse. And not only that, they're getting the pressure from, grown men as well. So it's like they're getting all that type of attention from not only, the judgment from the females, but also, the attention from the guys as well.
Well, let me ask you the question. Okay. I used to be a model way when I was younger.
Oh, I need to see this picture.
And it was like I never was concerned about what other people said, even name brand clothes, because it was like I always wore my clothes. My clothes never wore me. You know what I mean? I never really cared about what people said about me, because it was like if one person was like, "Oh, you think you all that," I had 10 people that was like, "He's all that." You see what I'm saying? So it never really bothered me, and I just like, man, look, whatever, And
that's really good to have people to defend you, because you don't have to get into that drama. You could just go on with your day. So when you have people, and I have that too, I have people that will defend me, like, okay, she's not like that, but it's just, and it feels good because that just, I'm like, okay, I don't have to say anything. And I usually don't. I don't like drama, so I usually don't. Sometimes if I have to, I will. But it's just a relief off of your back, because you have people that's in your circle that knows you and that's going to support you and that's going to defend you as well.
Right.
That's true. Oh, Joe, I got you. I was a model in high school too.
I want to see a picture of you.
I'm a lot smaller and in very better shape too. So yeah, I did all through high school. And my problem I had when I was doing it, I had a weird, crazy story. I went to an interview for a model. So the first time I felt like I was being like a piece of meat on a turning thing, she walks in the room and says, "Excuse me, I need to do one thing for me." I'm like, "Sure, no problem. Take clothes off." What? No, take your shirt off for me. I need to see something. Okay.
That's a Miami thing, phrase. That's never happened to me unless I was doing
Miami
swimsuit or underwear modeling, but just to go take clothes off, that's not gonna work for me.
Y'all doing everything, man. I did everything. I'm talking about it. I did everything. Come on, we're on social media. Some people
Funny. Social media is only the A side, brother. We get to the B side of stuff.
even the fire to pull up. You ask the people on Star how you put a picture, baby picture, know how they got them.
That's true.
Right?
Absolutely.
So now here's the coolest thing ever. So the organization, like, what are the, like, you have a checklist you developed to actually they hand out to young ladies to you can check out and say, look, this was you see this sign, this you see this sign, you this sign, and you actually diagnose through this the checklist, or do you have a certain other way to diagnose them and see if they need to go with professional help, or do they need to go talk to the depression specialist or the medic or the doctor?
They would have to talk to someone that is licensed, a licensed psychiatrist, to be able to diagnose them, because I don't do any diagnose. My main goal is to provide support, encouragement, and motivation. So if they have something that they have to be diagnosed, I would have to recommend or refer them to someone that is licensed.
Nice. So let me ask you, you said you were on hold now, but when are you going to get reactivated? And do you have to wait for them, or can you just go ahead now and restart? And then what will happen is when they open up or when they get ready, they come back. Because this
I'm sorry, I'm actually in a meeting with someone right now. I'm just waiting for them to get back to me to let me know when I can actually start back with the school again.
Yeah, because,
yes,
this is something that's needed now, not when the school is ready. You know what I mean? Because there's things that are happening like right now. You know what I mean?
I agree.
I'm just,
Exactly.
As a martial arts instructor, I just don't wait for anybody.
No,
I just can't.
So just pray for me that it hurries and happen, because I'm just waiting for them to say, yes, you can go, and then give me my girls, and then then we can go.
Let's go.
Give me my 6 girls and we can go.
Right. Let's go.
How about developing an online virtual website where you can talk to the young girl that way, and probably reach more young ladies? Even if you thought about doing that, that could be very interesting, because in Miami for a lot of them, or even across the world, I've seen people touch people so much. We enjoy having a young lady on the show sometimes and say how she did TikTok and talk to people all over the world, influencers. Like, do you use other social media to also do that, or have plans of doing that in the future?
I could definitely look into that. I don't have I have a TikTok, but I don't. I just on my phone, but I have never used it for marketing purpose. But I could definitely look into that to see how I can definitely, because I know a lot of times you need the parents' consent in order to provide any type of service to a child. But I could definitely look into see something that I can do virtual through TikTok.
Not TikTok, any Instagram, any social media platform. Virtual consultations are the thing right now. I mean, you can see lots of people now through a virtual consultation. So I mean, like I said, such a great program that it's supposed to be beneficial for us. It seems like, I'm generalizing, I could be wrong, but it seems like everything that's put in place for us always has rules, got to put on hold. You can't do that, while we fall through the cracks. Exactly. But our counterparts and their kids always find a way to get the grant, to get the promotion, to get the scholarship, to get the tutoring that they need to push themselves up. And it's just like, your organization shouldn't be on pause. Like, things are happening every day. I don't understand. That's me. I apologize for ranting.
And that's the same thing. Like, if you're working in corporate America, a Black person has to work 3 times as hard as the counterpart. So it's the same. It's the same exact way. So it's like, unless you have a connection, unless you have a plug, the word, the plug, unless you have someone that's able to, give you, that connection, then yes. But other than that, when you're like trying to figure things out yourself, it's going to be 3 times as harder for you to get through the door, to get those grants, to get those, you have to work 3 times as hard. You have to show more things on your portfolio. This is what I did, and these are all the awards that I won, in order for someone to actually look at you and say, okay, you're able to do it. You're able to do this. So you have to work three times as hard.
Nice. How many people do you have in your organization now?
Right now I have 3.
Nice.
So how do you piggyback what George said about the different counterparts of the organization, whatever? Like, what are some of the troubles or roadblocks you came across when you started the organization due to that influences of your counterpart by you being minority and want to help minority women? Have you ever? What are some of the loopholes and some of the blocks you had to go through?
Number one is finance. That was the number one. When getting grants, getting funding, getting donation, trying to figure out how to get donation as a new nonprofit organization, especially where there's other nonprofit organizations that are well known, or other nonprofit organization that they know that's in your surrounding. So that's the number one thing. Number two, again, I'm still learning social media and try to see how I can market on social media. Regards to my nonprofit organization, I'm still working on that. And then number three, getting a team together, getting more people on board to want to help you. And you have to do people that are willing to do background checks, people that are willing to actually commit to want to help you, not just say, oh, I'm part of this organization, but they're actually putting in the time, the effort, and the support to actually to help you, to put the business out there. So those are the three things that I'm still working on right now.
Where are you in those phases? Because Frazier and I are in real estate. I know a lot of people have heard me say that lately when it comes to that, but funding is funding. Whether we're buying houses for a portfolio or we're finding money for a nonprofit organization, funding is funding. There's money out there. And as far as background checks, those are just simple skip traces that can be done. Skip traces are what we use to find tenants when they trash our place and they disappear in the night. But background checks are the same background checks, and those are relatively inexpensive when it comes to doing those. I mean, at best, a $5, $6 for a Social Security check, and I think it's $19 for basic employee. So, are those some of the hinges, or do you need somebody permanent to be able to do some of those things?
I need someone permanent.
Okay, you need people permanent. Okay, definitely.
Oh, well, I know.
Are you offering to join the team, George? Because that's what it sounds like.
Oh yeah, man. Yes.
We all put down for that. So we all do that. So
very simple. Very simple. I'm serious. If you need help, email me, and we'll definitely get it going.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, I do most social media stuff, though. That's me.
Okay.
We all have niches. That's the best part about it. We all have niches, certain things. And I'll tell you too, like certain best ways to get background checks. Somebody like a private investigator, somebody who loves giving community service, because they can write off on their taxes. You get them a thing, tax write off. If they do so many amounts for you, they can write on the tax return, write it off. The service to the community. That's community service for them. It also boosts their company credibility in giving back to the community. That's right. They all get lawyers also, like a lot of organizations that also have lawyers and judges who actually love helping organizations to do females, males, especially young age between
anything with kids. Anything with kids, there's money there. They would do it. Okay, state, local, and federal. Anything with kids, there's money there. I just had a conversation with another guest who has studios, and he's looking to build and expand. We had him on the show, Vaughn Graves. Well, we spoke offline just to tell you real quick. And, there's grants out there for him to be able to have kids come into his studio, and he teach them about learning the board and engineering in the music studio. You see what I mean? Anything with kids, there's money out there. But you are mission critical because our things happen like every day. You could wake up to drama and this, that, and the third. You see what I'm saying? And so it's not more of, oh, well, should we? It's a necessity that needs to be there. That's the foundation. That's the foundation for us, people in our community. So definitely all good. Definitely all good. Frage, any more questions? I've been ranting and raving and talking.
Wait. No, we give knowledge, George. No, we do. We give knowledge. No, we do best.
I'm getting knowledge too, so you guys are helping me out as well. So I appreciate that.
That's what we do. We love organizations, especially giving back to the community. That's one reason why you've created this platform is for highlight certain organizations and they actually help get funding, whatever, without knowledge we knew. Like George said, real estate, crowdfunding, grants, they will actually give you money like crazy. And they also have a minority business grant you can get for yourself.
That's right.
As a female.
That's right.
nonprofit owner.
Oh,
There's a
wow.
lot of if you go like certain organizations, they will literally give you money just because you're a minority female for one, and you're helping other minority females to improve their worth and be able to survive society. They also grants for that also. Not to mention, they also grant what they call, I forgot what
There's a lot of grants. There's a community development.
That's what I'm talking. There it is.
Community development grants. And the reason why I know this is because they use it for real estate a lot of times.
Yeah.
That's the hook. You get a community development grant where you come in and consult people, and you have people that work, and people come into your offices for consultation. You see what I'm saying? And on top of that, there'll be enough money for you to run the organization and buy the business in that community to keep that business going. You see what I'm saying? So there's a lot of different things, and especially because you're a nonprofit, they love nonprofits.
They love profit, exactly.
They love nonprofits. There's more money for nonprofits than there are for-profit businesses.
Yes. And also another one, urban development grants.
Right.
Where you go into urban neighborhoods and you they would give you money literally to open your organization in a much needed area, which is what me and George call war zone areas, and develop the neighborhood up. Anything to beautify neighborhood or develop a neighborhood to where it's better than what it is before, 10 years before, they give you money automatically. They will give you money, open, find a place, fund you for I think up to 2 years. And then after we do that, they reevaluate you. And you go back all over stuff you need this for, you'll be done over years. So everything you do, you document it. Not saying to brag or nothing, but pictures all the things you do too. You know, the young girls you're helping, or give them the right story how you help them, stuff like that. And you put it on your portfolio, and you build that up. And when you put it up, now you got a presentation. You go to the big corporation at Walmart, Publix, Winn-Dixie, Home Depot, and you present it. Look, this is what I do. And I know you have a program you can like give back to the community. This is what I do. And they will literally give you money just to highlight them on your whatever event you have, whatever, and give them
put their logo on your website, our art, and so on. You know what I mean? So it definitely works. Where can they find you on social media?
My Instagram page is Roses Without Thorns Inc. I'm also on LinkedIn, Roses Without Thorns Inc. On Facebook, the same thing, Roses Without Thorns Inc. So it's all the same on all three websites. And I do have a website that I'm developing right now, but they can go to www.roseswithoutthornsinc.org. It's not fully set up yet, but they can definitely go in there to see some information. And that's about it.
All right. One more thing though. What advice you give to young ladies who listening to this podcast that help them out?
The only advice I can give them right now, I am a Christian, so definitely pray. If you try to get connected to people, I'll say try to get connected to people that are going to help you grow closer to God, going to help you to guide you, going to help you with wisdom, that have wise counsel. Try to get connected to people that's just going to be your support system, because sometimes it's hard to find people that's actually going to support you. Not just people you know, not just friends you have, but people that really want to support you with what you're going through. So it's definitely trying to find those people that's going to actually listen to you and hold your hand through that process. If you're going through any type of depression or any type of mental illness or anything like that, just finding that right support system.
Absolutely.
Well, that healthy support system. There you go.
Well, listen, we greatly appreciate you being on the show and sharing information with us. And anything you need from me and Fresh, you have our email address. Please don't hesitate.
Don't hesitate. We're here. We're family.
Thank you so much for helping me.
Absolutely. Anytime. We definitely love to have you back on the show.
All right. Thank you, guys. Have a blessed one.
Yes, thank you. Pleasure. Bye. Bye-bye. Wow.
Yeah.
That was a great one. That was a great one. Another great one.
You know, it just warms our heart. You know how we do it, Frage. Listen, this week we have 2 more shows. So we have, who do we have, Frage?
We have Jeff Bell, she's a saxophonist, and we have True Taylor, who was an artist. Artist.
So Thursday and Friday, 8 o'clock. Check us out. Don't miss those particular shows. I know we keep banging, but we just keep banging. All right. So check us out this Thursday and Friday. That was Real Talk. This is George.
This is Frakes.
And that was Real Talk. Thanks for being with us. We'll see you on
Appreciate it.
Thursday, 8 o'clock.
Till Thursday,
Find the time.
8 o'clock. Don't be late.
Peace.